Gentlemen, ladies, it's Mechamaru is here. Now, I do need to apologize. He's only level 93 at the moment, but we'll get him up there. We'll do some minor damage comparisons and all of that sort of stuff. But he is a split damage unit that does additional damage is in break status, or when he puts the opponent in break status, he does more damage. Passive skill, Puppet's Body, Poison Resistance, Darkness Nullification, Stun Nullification, Disruption Nullification, Death Resistance, Curse Nullification. What is Reverse Curse Technique Nullification? It means that Yuta won't be able to heal him. Makes sense. Puppet's Body, quite thematic, probably a bit annoying. Especially since he doesn't really have any healing outside of that type of thing, or recollection bits. Skill 1 is a melee attack that does physical damage. Great. Especially when it's doing that 1.8%. When a lot of the big units do a lot more than that. Ultra Shield reads quite nicely. Applies counterattack status to self for 2 turns, and 40% break damage increase to self for 2 turns. And counterattack status activate once during its active turns, and it does melee counterattack damage to the enemy based on physical technique. I don't know the exact scaling of this, but we'll need to see. Try to see at least. And then skill 3, Ultra Spin. 120% break damage increase time, so just this attack. And melee hybrid damage to target equal to 153 points physical, 108% cursed. So again, split damage that favors physical, right? And this is same ultra cannon. So 70% break damage to self for 1 time. Again, kind of low break damage buffs for himself when you look at Koji, but it's not too bad. Deals melee hybrid damage. Target enemies equal to 595, or physical technique and X amount of curse technique. Total scales up reasonably well. And the co-op effect is damage dealt increase to self in the cooperate and physical technique. So the recollection bit that I'm using on him, this one is technically physical curse favor, so favored curse for raw damage, but it is just a damage dealt. And whenever he lands a crit, all allies get crit. This is the first team I'm going to rock. Nanami for the healing recollection bit. Actually, put a boy in the background just in case we need it. I don't think we will though. And I want to see here stage. So let's dive right in. Put a few different recollection bits on him. I wouldn't recommend any of the physical ones. A good one you could put on would be Yuta's recollection bit from the free-to-play event. But this works quite nicely as well. Alright. So I want to build up Megami's domain. Get a couple of attacks there and see how it goes. This first turn, on the shield. And see if we can't get a physical attack directed. And that is a bit of the problem right there. Obviously, if he does an AoE attack, you're not going to get the proc. And I guess even worse, is very annoying, it doesn't have a taunt on it. So if it doesn't have a taunt on it, what does that mean? Well, I'm afraid to say even their single target attacks won't necessarily proc it. 60k there, not a massive amount of damage, but do this. Tutoring. The problem with Ultra Shield is it doesn't give him any damage reduction. So that's not going to work. And ult, I'll put on Ultra Shield though just because this guy is fading right now. Enemy. This. Let's get Megami the healing as well. Enemy. Tutor. Boost on. Probably not going to do a huge amount of damage, but perfect. There's the ult for Megami. This. Tutoring. Ultra spin. Not. None of his buffs last particularly long, so he can just sort of hit as much. Perfect. If we can get some farewell slashes going. Let's do this. Kick. This is definitely not a perfect run, but it'll work. Purposes of the showcase, because what I want to do is tutoring. Let's get Ultra Shield on again, and then next turn I'll double ult with Megami and Yaga, ult with Mechamaru as well. So boom, 1. This Ultra Cannon. Let's see how he. And damage. Okay. Oh, is this just a single target ult? I feel really stupid if it's target ult. I'll be right back. Alright, we're bringing it back. I've also managed my cursed energy quite a bit better. That's kind of nice. Good. That hit on Yaga should actually bring this forward a little bit as well. Shield on. Yaga. That's alright. Do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. Put that on. Maybe Nanami dies here, but worst case. No, perfect. Oh, he did none of the ult. That's alright. Farewell. Ratio. Advanced corpses. Cursed corpses. Ultra cannon. Let's see how much damage Mechamaru can hit here. Not bounce there. Right. Ugh. 500k. Am I missing something? Nullifies all kinds of debuffs. Okay, that's why we didn't hit too hard against this guy, because we're only missing damage there from Megami. Let's try a different boss. Now, I'm not convinced about this Mechamaru, as you can probably tell. That would be a good reason why. Bearing in mind, Gojo kills there even without Megami. So that's interesting, because no dupe Gojo in that same situation. I have it. Let me. So in that same situation, Gojo with no dupe hit for just under 2.4 million. With the same buffs, because the domain wasn't doing anything. So that's what we're looking at with this Mechamaru. Okay, so we're going to dive into here, because this guy has some interesting things where it can apply curse technique damage taken decreased to self. Mechamaru does do some curse technique damage, but mostly hits physical. And performs attacks that can apply poison. Mechamaru has no worries about that. he has poison resistance. Now, it's not nullification, but it is resistance, so hopefully that'll work. Let's try the same thing in here. Otherwise, we can safely say Mechamaru's a skip. Who knew? 500k. Thought he'd hit a bit harder than that, but with Megami's buffs, we should be able to do it. Let's see. Slack. Do these and this. Oop. Maybe Ultra Shield will work here. Ultra Shield not having a taunt on it is really bad. There was the poison resist coming through. That was good for us. One more round. It's these. Boost. I don't know if or when Mechamaru ever gets buffed. I assume he does, because these numbers are not great. What I'm saying is not great. Let's build back on. Stunned, that's quite bad. Oh, yep. Stun is very... Throw the shield on once more, why not? He doesn't do anything other than, like, not get poisoned. It's kind of not ideal. Right. Let's do this. Throw that back on. Spin. We've got some stuff. Let's try it. Ow. That really hurt Nanami, dude. Okay. One. So Nanami might go down here, but hopefully Mechamaru will be able to do some good stuff. Got one more turn. Yep. Went down. That's alright. We'll disclose. We'll tutor. And then we'll do the combo ult. See how that looks. Because that'll give us one more stack of Megami. It's gonna spam with Gojo. Here, disclose again. Here. Here. He has... This thing has... can't actually... There we go. 3.6 mil. I'm not expecting it to do 3.6 mil. But if I could break 1.5? Break 1.5? 2? Or 1.6. Great, but not the worst, right? Especially if you take off the 10% and all that sort of thing. Not particularly good, but I've certainly seen one. Here's the embarrassing. Gojo's just been chilling and disclosing. Most of the Megami buffs will have fallen off at this point. He can do some break damage. So do you have any of Megami's... Cool. None of Megami's stuff. Let's see. Could be embarrassing, guys. Yeah, 3.1, boys. Now, he does have a dupe in him. But. And I understand that I was made aware by a comment that Mechamaru's recollection bit voted for support. But I just want you to know, this guy, who is labeled as an attacker, is on raid up, same time that this guy is on raid up. and who is labeled as an attacker and, you know, actually does damage, right? He can actually just one-shot things. And has a bunch of utility by, like, not getting hit. You know, attack nullification. Great stuff. Curse, single type, curse technique, full damage, provokes, taunts, alt gauge out the wazoo, deals, implies crit damage dealt increase to himself. And this guy, right? This guy can stand in one spot and watch his mates get hit while he's got his arm up. What are we doing? Skip this Pinocchio ass bastard and go get Gojo. Recollection bits. Sure, why not? Recollection bits. Stuff that does damage. So this is probably what most people will have and using. Get him. It's fine. It is damage dealt. Basically anything that does just raw damage. So you can here filter. Let's go with find damage increase. Probably your best bet, if I'm being honest. And you can choose stuff that has damage in it. You'd want pure damage increase. So something like this, for instance. Here, not ideal. It's okay, but it's only 1%. So something like this is just raw damage dealt, which is what we want. Otherwise, his best use is probably as a bench warm and eating up your training pieces, showcases. That's probably his best bet. So I'll catch you all later. See you in the next one. Peace out. Bye bye.